Hey everybody, welcome back to the Light Side Random Reactions, our new show on the channel where we react to things that aren't music and are not TV or movie trailers. Basically, it's just stuff that I happen to notice on the internet or that you guys recommend to me that doesn't fall into those normal categories that we would address on these shows. A lot of times we'll get into political content, sometimes religious and theological issues. We'll do deeper dives into those. So some of the content on these may be controversial. So that'll be a heads up for all you guys. Be prepared for that. My only rule for this show is let's all be respectful of each other in the comments. Try to have a friendly discourse. We may not all agree with each other on the stuff that we discuss, but that's the beauty of free speech. In a society like ours, we can discuss these things, and if we do it in a civil and friendly manner, then hopefully we can, at least at the end of the day, agree to disagree, and possibly even change some minds and hearts. And so today I'm reacting to an article that just came up from the New York Post. Came up in my notifications. ABC station mistakenly airs election results, declaring Harris winner of key swing state. So here, as I record this, it's October 30th. Election day is not for another several days. Of course, there is early voting going on right now, but that's not enough to declare who the winner is. Election day isn't even here yet. So that sounds suspicious, right? Let's go ahead and read the article before we jump to any conclusions. We don't want to get into any conspiracy theories here. Maybe there's a logical explanation for this. Let's find out. Okay, so this is by an article by Alexandra Steigrad, published at 4:30 p.m. Okay, an ABC station ignited a flurry of conspiracy theories, of course it would, after it aired what appeared to be official election results for Pennsylvania. Ooh, that's a key swing state. That showed Kamala Harris easily winning the key swing state, more than a week before Election Day. The shocking result popped up at the bottom of the screen during Sunday's broadcast of the Formula One Mexico Grand Prix by ABC local affiliate WNEP-TV, which services the northern part of the Keystone State. So this was during Sunday's broadcast, so this was like several days ago. It showed the Vice President capturing 52% of the votes, compared to 47% for Republican challenger Donald Trump, with 100% of the precincts reporting. Okay, before I continue reading on like this, there is probably a logical explanation for this. As much as, we are worried about voter fraud and election fraud, especially when you've got, you had the contentious 2020 election. And if you're old enough to remember, like I do, the year 2000 election between George W. Bush and Al Gore, that was pretty contentious back then. There was lawsuits and everything over that election. Go ahead and Google that sometime, look up the history of it if you're not familiar with it. But anyway, after all the conspiracy theories that came out after the 2020 election, and all the turmoil that happened in the days, weeks, and months to follow, and still we're facing fallout from that, 4 years later. And so it's easy to see all the evidence that we saw of voter, or not necessarily voters, but election interference and election intimidation, election fraud. The mass media will tell you that there's no evidence of it. Although, I was very keen on following all the information I could find from all the sources I could find. So I watched CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, all the standard channels, all the news outlets like New York Times, Washington Post, New York Post, all the major outlets. I wanted to hear what everybody said, and I wanted to see all the evidence that everybody's putting out. On top of that, I looked to the non-conventional outlets like Blaze TV and the Daily Wire and Huffington Post. And, on the left, you had their outlets over there too, like Huffington Post, for example, and the Young Turks, all that kind of stuff. I look to see what everybody says about it, and I encourage you to do the same thing. Anytime something like this comes up, Do your own research. Don't trust what anybody tells you, even if it's a so-called trusted news outlet, because the ones that you trust, they will lie to you just as quickly as any of the other ones will. They will advance conspiracy theories just like the others, and they will gaslight you and tell you that there is absolutely nothing to see here. Don't believe your own lying eyes. Well, I encourage you to do your own research on all these things, and don't trust anybody, even myself, to give you all the facts, because I may not have all the facts. Like right now, I'm just hearing this for the first time. So I'm just giving you my perspective based on what I see here, what I read about. And this is my first time hearing about it, so this is the first time reaction, and I'm sure there will be more information come out in the future. So this is just a first time reaction. But with all the stuff that we've seen over election 2020, it is easy to jump on the train and say, okay, this is it. There's voter fraud going on. And this is evidence of the mainstream media of, what was it, ABC News, already telegraphing that Harris has won before the election has even happened yet. And so to explain how that could be a factor, you have to understand the way things work is when they are getting their screens and all their graphics and everything prepared for, especially a big event like the election, they have to prepare those ahead of time, and they'll have templates, and then they'll fill in later on with the actual data. And so as they're creating those templates to put on the screen and filling them in with placeholders basically. And so they could have accidentally put one of those up on the screen, bumped the wrong button or something, and it popped up on there with one of their placeholders in it as a test. And it was never meant to be broadcast or aired. I could see that happening. That could be a legitimate thing. But it's very concerning when people are concerned about possible election fraud, as contentious as the last election was, and as much as we want the people to be confident in the election, even more important than us having confidence in the election is that the election is actually secure and safe. It's one thing for us to believe that it's safe, but what's more important than that is for it to actually be safe and secure. Personally, I don't know. All I know is that after the 2020 election, I saw a lot of evidence that the media suppressed, that they tried to cover up. Big tech censored it and swiped it off, deleted it off the internet. So if you were to look for it today, you probably wouldn't be able to find it. I downloaded a lot of that stuff, that video evidence, onto a hard drive, and go figure, I had a hard drive crash. I didn't back it up, unfortunately, and so I've lost a lot of that footage. And so a lot of it, I would love to be able to go back and find it again, but it's gone. And so I learned my lesson. I'm backing up everything now on at least two different hard drives, so that I don't run into that situation again, because I want to go back, 4 years from now, if there is election fraud and, we have a big cover up to where the government says it never happened and the mainstream media says it never happened, but I remember that it happened. I can go back and look up those videos that I saved on my private hard drive and be able to say, okay, yes, this is proof that it happened. And so let's just continue with this article. That may be one explanation, is that they had placeholders. So while we're concerned that it may be a possibility that there is fraud going on, of course, we've already seen stories like the burning of the ballots and stuff that's in the news. I'm going to read up all as I can about that, because there are allegations that some of that is Russian disinformation. Sound familiar, anybody? It's 2020 all over again, calling it Russian disinformation. Well, just a few hours ago, there was a press conference, and I forget exactly what state it was in. I think it was Pennsylvania, where the FBI is investigating it, and they actually came out and did a press release confirming that it really did happen, and they've narrowed down a suspect, vehicle that was involved in it, and all that kind of stuff. So if somebody tells you that it didn't happen, don't automatically believe that it didn't happen. Don't automatically believe that it did. Do your research, check out both sides, get as much information as you can, and then weigh it and decide for yourself whether you believe it or not. Of course, we're in the age of deep fakes and artificial intelligence creating videos that look realistic, that may not be real as well. And of course, a lot of times I'll see some of these AI videos, and I can tell, you can tell that there's something a little bit off with them. They haven't been perfected yet, but they're getting a lot better. And so that's scary for me when we need to be able to trust our own eyes. And in our society today, with technology getting to the advanced stages it's in, video technology is getting to where they can create stuff that looks real and it's really not. And so it's concerning to me very much that we want to be able to at least be able to believe our own eyes and ears. But anyway, let's go ahead and get back into this article. The ticker that it came up on the ABC channel showed Vice President Harris capturing 52% of the votes compared to 47% for Republican challenger Donald Trump, with 100%, of the precincts reporting. Oh, and that's the end of the article. Okay. New York Post. All right. Well, anyway, it very well could have been, it could have been one of those things, just where they put the placeholder in the ticker. I'm guessing that's probably what it is. But man, that's a big mistake to make. When you're coming up onto a potentially contentious election, and to make a flub like that, it's going to cause a lot of conspiracy theories. And hopefully, the election goes smoothly. We're only a couple days away as I'm recording this. But anyway, go ahead and comment down below. Are you personally confident that this year's election is going to be safe and secure? Do you have confidence in the polling? Do you have confidence in the system? Or do you think that there's potential fraud that will be covered up? I am not 100% sure either way, honestly. I know there was fraud in 2020. Whether you want to say it was enough to overturn the election, I don't know. I don't know how much it was, but I know that there was enough that it was a potential that in some of these swing states, it could have easily done it. And so I don't want to live in a society where we have to be second guessing our election process. I want it to be safe and secure, and I want us to be able to have confidence in it. And so the only way that we're going to be able to do that is to stop with the cover-ups, stop with the lying, stop with the don't believe your own lying eyes and your lying ears. Show us evidence. Don't suppress evidence. And that's one thing I get onto a lot is about the media and about big tech censoring. Is if you're going to censor the other side's viewpoint, then automatically I don't trust you at all. The media, any kind of social media outlet, the mainstream media, whoever, if they are trying to censor what somebody says and prevent you from hearing what the other side says, I don't trust them. No matter whether they're Republicans or Democrats, conservatives, progressives, liberals, I don't care who you are. If you are suppressing people from being able to hear both sides of an issue, you're not able to be trusted. And so the answer to misinformation, disinformation, isn't to censor the other side, but to counter it with evidence to counter their argument. And if you can't do that, then there's something wrong with your argument. Your argument isn't strong enough. If your argument isn't strong enough that you can support it with facts, then and evidence, then something's wrong with your argument, and it's not to be trusted anyway. So that's my advice to everybody: is trust those who who will not censor the other side, but rather will encourage you to hear what the other people say, and then they counter it with their own side, and then encourage you to explore and determine for yourself which ones you believe. And then, that's the only way we can, be a society that is not covering up things and living like tyrants. That's the only thing that will keep our freedom alive. And before I go, I just want to remind you, Election Day is coming up, and so get out there and vote. If you are a registered voter, you are a citizen of the United States, and you are qualified to vote, get out there and vote. That's one other way that we can ensure election integrity, is if we, as President Trump says, swamp the vote. Get so many votes out there so that it's going to be a grand slam, and there's no way that people can, get in there and change it and make it harder for them. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. We've got all sorts of other playlists with other content on there. We've got the Light Side Music Reactions, where I react to songs, and you can give me recommendations on music that you want me to react to. We've got Reaction Reviews, where I react to the latest TV and movie trailers that come out. We've got the Light Side Conversations, where I interview people of note that might be interesting and have interesting stories to tell. And let's see, what else do we got? We've got Muck Club, our Sunday afternoon live stream, where I eat fast food typically and talk about it and review it, and then we talk about whatever comes up during that stream. And as it is a live stream, you guys are able to join in a live chat with me. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.